don't need to know yet. You don't need to know what I'm showing. Please, you guys are so nosy. Come on now. Hello, you guys, and happy summer. Welcome back to my channel. It is like the first super warm day today. I went out, I got iced coffee. Like, things are changing, and they're changing quickly, and that means it's time for my summer recommendations. I know y'all are cheeky and you want to see them all right now, but you gotta wait for it, hun. Okay, I am so excited about everything I'm going to share today. And I do, like, keep in mind some of these are going to be ones that you've probably seen other people on BookTube talk about. But there's a reason, and if I love them, I still want to show them to you. But I'll probably spend less time talking about those, more time talking about ones that I think deserve to be a little more hyped up. So, without further ado, let's get into my summer recommendations, baby. How are we feeling about the cart, you guys? Do you like the cart? My mom made, spoiler, my mom made this cart for me. Like, well, she didn't physically make it, but she spray painted it this beautiful yellow for me when I went to college. Oh, memories. But seriously, y'all, I'm just unhinged today because I went to the thrift store and got amazing deals, and it's really changed me. This is like almost a mystery to me too because I turned them all backwards, so we'll see what we're starting with. Okay, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. This one is such a fun one. This one definitely leans towards YA if you're younger. I definitely think you can still read this one. This one takes place in Martha's Vineyard in the summer. Her family goes on a vacation there every year, and they have a family game of assassin that they play on the island. And she meets somebody there, and I think there's also a wedding going on, so it's very like festive, fun, atmospheric, and made me want to go to Martha's Vineyard. I would say this one's a low on the serious scale. It's very light, it's very fluffy, and besides, there is a little bit of grief. She is dealing with grief, so keep that in mind if that's something you're worried about getting into. Look that up first. But it is so fun. I read it so quickly. I read it on vacation, so I definitely recommend this one. Good one first out of the gate. Next on the docket is, let's see here, The Bromance Book Club by Lissa K. Adams. This one is so good, you guys. Maybe unpopular opinion, but I do not think this whole series, the Bromance series, is worth the read, but this first one really knocked it out of the park. I guess pun not intended, but our main character is a professional baseball player, and his marriage is in trouble. He just finds out he's not fulfilling his wife in the way he thought he was, and he ends up joining a book club of famous celebrity men where they read romance to help them in their marriages, and they just like support each other, and it's really beautiful. I love this one. It is a quick read, it's fast, it's adorable, and I really like the second chance at like marriage in trouble. I think this one was like so amazing. So that one's next to add to your TBR. After that, let's see what we have here. Beach Read by Emily Henry. I really don't want to like get on a soapbox about this one because I know everyone loves this one and I know everyone talks about this. This one, it's been one of my favorites from her for a long time, but Happy Place might rival it at this point. I need to do a reread this summer. But it's basically just a quick synopsis for those who know nothing about it. It's two writers who knew each other in the past, so it's kind of second chancey in that way. But they're both writers, and they end up living next to each other and deciding to swap genres. So that's basically the premise. I know a lot of people talk about this one. I think it was my first Emily Henry. It is so amazing. I am not a huge People We Meet on Vacations fan. Like, that's my least favorite of all her books. But I definitely think this one is a great read, and it's a great read to pick up in the summer. Next on the agenda is The Roughest Draft This one is written by a husband and wife duo, which is pretty amazing. I feel like that added to the story for me a lot, knowing that. But basically, this is about two writers who co-wrote a book together, and then they had a huge falling out, got into a huge fight, but they are still contracted to write one more book together. So they have to come back together, so it's a little bit second chance. We love a second chance. They have to come back together to write that novel. I feel like that's the best way to put it. This one has a lot of tension, and I would say this is more on the closed door side. So if you don't like a lot of smuttiness, this one is definitely for you. I loved it. Read it on vacation as well, so it was like the perfect read. The setting was great, super atmospheric. I definitely think the first few are fairly closed door. I remember the Bromance book club had a couple scenes, but the other ones are fairly like, you know what's going on, but it's not super detailed. So moving on. Next we have The UN Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. This one, you guys, I'm down bad for this novel. This one is an enemies to lovers. Basically, this girl's twin sister gets married. Everyone gets it from the buffet except her, the maid of honor, and the best man, and they end up going on the honeymoon, and they have to pretend to be them and pretend to be married. It is so good, and I really think it does enemies to lovers well. I know it's not everyone's favorite, and honestly, I think this one's fairly close door too, so keep that in mind. But it really is a great read, and they go on a honeymoon in Hawaii. Great atmosphere, it's perfect. Take it on your next vacation with you. Okay, I think this one is my last romance rec, so if you are over the romance, don't worry. We got one more hill to climb. It happened one summer. Tessa Bailey. This book, it's living in my head rent-free. I love this one. This one is definitely the smuttiest out of these recommendations in romance. This one has our main girl, Piper, who is kind of a party girl, a socialite. She gets shipped off to Nowheresville to kind of work on herself. And she meets Brendan there, who is a sea captain. Seaman, if you will. And it is great. I definitely like this one a lot more than the second in the duology, but if you like Friends to Lovers, you might like that second one. I just liked the grumpy sunshine. I liked the premise. Honestly, like, it really gives good rom-com vibes. So some people don't like the smut in this one. It's give or take for people, but I definitely think that one is worth a read, and it says summer in the name, so come on. Next, we are heading into more of a thriller zone. First rec, Verity, Colleen Hoover. Say what you want about Coho, because like I think a lot of those feelings are valid, but this book is probably the best one I've read from her. It's very captivating. It's a quick read. Basically, a girl is hired to ghostwrite for a paralyzed famous author, and she comes in to ghostwrite, and creepy things start happening in the house. She finds a manuscript written by the bedridden woman. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say like, is it award-winning level writing? No, but it is entertaining, and I enjoyed myself in that period. That's it. Okay. Next, we have the trilogy. I only own 2, but it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Holly Jackson. Listen, I know you've heard about it. I know everyone's told you to read it, but you should. If you were a Nancy Drew girl in the day, girl, why haven't you picked these up? It is so entertaining, so well written. Holly Jackson is really unmatched in this like new adult, young adult mystery like range. She does a fantastic job. I feel like summer's a good time to start a little trilogy. So these are great. The third one I'm going to tell you is quite a bit darker. I know I say that every time I talk about this, but I found it shockingly dark compared to the first 2. So I want people to know that before they go into that third one, and maybe look up trigger warnings. Just because I thought it was pretty heavy, but these ones are great. They will keep you entertained, they'll keep your attention, and they're just fun. If you're a mystery podcast or like murder podcast girl, pick those bad boys up. Do it. Okay, I have like 2 more thrillers. Whew. Catch your breath, Grace. We got ways to go. Okay. 5 Survive, Holly Jackson. What am I supposed to say? I stan her. I stan everything she does. This one is such a quick read. If you're not in the mood to start a whole trilogy, add that to your TBR. I totally get it. This is a standalone. It's great. It takes place like in 24 hours. This group of friends is driving an RV to vacation, and they get trapped. And they have to figure out why they've been trapped. 5 survive, 6 of them. I don't know what else I need to tell you. It is gripping. You could read this in a day. I mean, it is so great. That's one I would take on the plane with me if I needed something to really distract me. 5 survive. Last in the thriller mystery genre, Where the Crawdads Sing. This one, I know a lot of people, again, have read it. Maybe you've seen the movie. It is great. Honestly, my mom read this. She loved it. She spent time living in North Carolina, and she said it was like so memorable for her, like so immersive. She loved it. So obviously this author did a great job describing that area and making you feel like you're there. The murder mystery element is so great. It also is kind of a coming of age story about a girl who lives in the marsh and deals with a lot of things because of living all by herself in the marsh. But it's amazing, and I mean the twists are great. Like, this one you should definitely pick up and read. It is pretty captivating. I know this middle is a tiny bit slow, but then like the last quarter flew through it. So that one is definitely a great one to pick up, especially if you want to see the movie. Pick that one up first, read it, and then go see that one. Okay, we made it. 2 books left. It's like I love the sound of my own voice or something. Oh. 2 books left, y'all. Okay. This is fantasy time, and I don't think I've heard a ton about either of these books. So if you've stuck around to hear a lot of books you've probably heard about before, here we go with the original ideas, okay? The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, xxoo. Amazing storytelling, amazing folklore about Korean culture and their stories. I mean, great characters. So I'm just trying to remember everything from this book. It is so multifaceted, amazing, immersive. I love this story. Like, I cannot even handle how passionately I feel about this one. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, it's this one. This is the one you're looking for. Literally, if I could make everyone read one book, it'd probably be this one. Like, period. You've probably heard me talk about it before. It is really amazing. I don't think I'm selling it well, but it's good. Can't you just trust me that it's good? Oh my gosh, I need to sell it better, don't I? Let's give it a go. Let's try to sell it. Okay, here we are to sell The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. Mina's village every year sacrifices a girl to the sea gods in hopes of ending their village's suffering. This year, her brother's love of his life, is chosen to be sacrificed because she is kind and beautiful. The little sister, Mina, sacrifices herself in her place, which has never been done. And it's her journey through the spirit realm, trying to figure out why the village is suffering and what's wrong with the sea god. It's so beautiful, so immersive. It's just a great story. I need to reread it, but that is like the beginning premise. And then it really has, if you like Spirited Away, like some of the things I read really reminded me of scenes in that one. Please pick it up. Is that enough? Have I sold you? Okay. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. A swing and a home run, if you will. This one takes place on a strange island. Our main character, Linus, is a caseworker, and he's sent there to check out the orphanage for magical children on this island. He starts to learn about who they are and has to make the decision on if this orphanage should be shut down or not. It's a love story. It is just a beautifully told story. It gives you the feeling when you read books as a child, that really light, like happy, fulfilling, wholesome story. A must read. Please read it if you have not. And oh my gosh, we've done it. We did it. We talked about every book I recommend for this summer. You guys, so many beautiful books. And my TBR, let's not even talk about my summer TBR because it's dense. I am going to have to do a whole separate video for that. I was going to put it all together, but I just felt like I really needed to sell you on these books. So please pick up something from here. Read it this summer. Tell me how it was. I love sharing books, obviously, and I love getting the opportunity to talk about books that I just love, undoubtedly. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful summer or a start to the summer season. Give yourself some relaxing time, some self-care, pick up a new book, and I will see you next time.